Okay, shalom, shalom. Kwame Sha'ala, Koholoyim La Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Kahakodash. Double honors to our apostles, elders of Great Millstone who rule well. That by the Spirit taught us this beautiful truth. Just want to say the water to the H.I.M. Akwafes out here sincerely keeping the laws, the statutes, and commandments of Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai to the best of their ability. This is Yachanan Nawak, just coming at you with another quick lesson. Praying that it's edifying by the Spirit. And just a little ride and drive, hitting the record button, seeing where the Spirit leads. I was just kind of meditating on, just people that are around, that just draw from you. They pull. You know what I'm saying? And they never add anything to you, so to speak. It's just constantly a pull. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, damn, that resistance, it's just like you dealing with people that don't put nothing into you. And the scriptures talks about that as far as 2 Timothy chapter 3, where it talks about in the last days perilous times shall come. But verse 5, I think that is where it talks about how the Lord said to pretty much to get away or stay away from these people. They're constantly running up on you. They got their own thing going on. They're in the world. They're doing their own thing. And of course, it's carnal. So it's going to always cause problems for them. They don't get it. You try and explain to them the gospel. They don't want nothing to do with that. But when they get into some shit, they coming at you, about some shit that they're into that you done already told them about. Now all of a sudden they might need some money. They might need a damn place to live. You know what I'm saying? They want to come through and borrow or get your damn car. Whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? It's not, adding to you. It's always a constant take. And, and especially when it comes to people, when it comes to this gospel, you most definitely want to rid yourself of anybody that'll pull you away from this gospel. I don't give a fuck who it is. They get to talking down on Yahweh Shai, and you doing this, you doing that, you in that Bible too much. All you worry about is, those Bible scriptures and those guys that you hang around, and that's all that you're into. And they get to giving you ultimatums and shit. Well, I'm gonna leave. Well, all right, well, go ahead and get the fuck on. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not gonna. You shouldn't ever have in your mind frame, anytime somebody get to talking to you like that, trying to give you an ultimatum, it's either me or that. No, man, it's this. God damn it, get the fuck on. Go ahead and bounce. Because the Lord, you know what I'm saying, He'll bring somebody else right on into your life that's beneficial to you. You don't need nobody just around you, just constantly just sucking you dry, man. Esau do enough of that. That's Esau. You know what I'm saying? That spirit of Esau. You got niggas around you with that spirit of Esau, just constantly draining you. Nothing is never enough. Constantly draining you. They're never putting back into you. You know what I'm saying? You constantly doing for them. They can't ever do a damn thing for you. And it's not all about that, but it at the same time too, you got to really watch how people use you, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? You got to really watch. And I'm speaking to myself as a man. You got to really watch how people, because people would abuse you, man, especially in this day and time. People, they motherfuckers, that's why that same scripture, or what I was talking about, 2 Timothy chapter 3, I'm driving, I would grab it, but it goes off into unthankful. It talks about people being unthankful, unholy, without natural affection, you know what I'm saying, heady, high-minded. People are only thinking about them damn selves, bro. That's why in the brotherhood, we're to think of each other, because we understand that we're a body. And Yahweh Shai is our head, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, the Father, Yahweh, the Son, Yahweh Shai, and then us, the men. Then it's supposedly be the women, that's the order of things. Then the children, of course, But in this particular kingdom, these women, they constantly are draining, they're most definitely, when it comes, first off, it's Esau, the so-called white man. He's gonna pull everything from you. He can. He don't give a fuck. He don't want to give you a day off if you asking for one. This motherfucker wants you to hurt. He wants you to work hurt. Any kind of weather. He don't give a fuck. So you gotta kind of like, take the initiative and say, well, you know what? Fuck how they think, because they never want you to take any time off. You can forget about that. They, I don't give a fuck if you work all year long. You need a week off. Shit, the 2 days off. They don't want that. But if you got the time, you just got to go ahead and override their asses and be like, oh, and nicely do it. Like, okay, well, I'm putting in for these days, and that's that. They get the what about we're busy. That's the weekend of. No, I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? Well, you're going to have to figure that out. This is not my business. You know what I'm saying? So it goes with everybody. It's everybody that's around us. Actually, they're somewhat of a energy puller, man. It's like a battery sitting in the cold. Eventually that battery is gonna go dead. And us as people, we need that recharge. You can't just constantly be the goddamn Energizer Bunny. Shit, even the Energizer Bunny, hell, them damn batteries go dead. But you have to rest yourself. You have to get yourself a mental break, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? I was kicking it with this this one chick. She is like, yeah, today is what she say? Today is my mental health day. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? Shit, hey, people need shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Shit. I'm thinking to myself, like, well, shit, I don't think like that really in reality. I need to take me a mental stress fucking day. But the scriptures comfort us. You know what I'm saying? Getting into reading, prayer, because it's a tough road, man. You know what I'm saying? We got to get up and do a lot of shit. And dealing in this carnal world, it drains the spirit in general. So we got to just, keep it moving, but at the same time too, we got to balance ourselves, because you don't want to burn yourself out. And these people will burn your ass out. They don't care. They don't care. Especially the women in our lives, your mom, your aunties, your sisters. Because if you a male, they looking for you to do everything. They ain't got no damn man. They done ran their damn man off. You got a woman, you know what I'm saying? You dealing with all different kinds of women in your life. They'll drain your ass. They're like I said, the number one drainer is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. And next in line is Eve. Eve gonna get you. Then you living in a kingdom where the children can't be reared the proper way. So the children are gonna drain you too. Oh, that, can I get this? Oh, can I have that? Can I get this? Can I get that? Can I have this? Can I have? And that's an American thing, really. A lot of these other these nations, these people come from these other places. They don't cater to their children like that. Every time they go into the store, they gotta have something. Every time they gotta have a new toy every week. All this shit piling up in the room. Bunch of shit in your garage piling up that they never play with. Don't appreciate. And you just spending money. Can I get this? Can I have that? Can I have this? Grades fucked up. Won't do a chore. You know what I'm saying? So it's like America's a fucked up place. And when you come into this truth, it fucks with them. You know what I'm saying? It fucks with everybody around you, because that's a break from their norm. Like, how dare you? I can't believe you. What do you mean you're not gonna celebrate our children's birthdays? What do you mean you're not gonna celebrate my birthday? You're not gonna get them Christmas gifts. You're not gonna get them. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, coming into this truth, man. You're gonna go through some things, and that's what's that? Ecclesiasticus chapter 2. You make yourself a prey, basically, man. Make yourself a prey, and you can't trip when. That's that's one of the hardest parts of this truth, so to speak, is shit. The shit that you lose, but the Lord said that He's gonna give it to you 100-fold. You lose your woman, you lose your house, you lose your job, you lose this, you lose that. But guess what? You've gained Well, hope we're prayerful that we're part of the hopefully elect. You've gained salvation, man. We're praying that we're part of that, So we walk through it, we toughen it out, and fuck these people. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to. We got respect for our parents. We got respect for our loved ones. Our biological family members and stuff. But they are really your enemies. If they're not calling on the names of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. It's not like you come up against them and you got to honor your mother and your father. That's not what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? But you have to be very careful of them pulling at you, man. Because eventually, if they pull, and you keep letting them pull, and you're not giving up no resistance, when it comes to the scriptures, hey, they'll fuck around and pull your ass right back into that world you was in before. Next thing you know, you passing a blunt. Next thing you know, you out here sleeping with some nigga's woman. You right back in the world, 7 times more fucked up because of them extra spirits that's gonna jump on your ass, man. So, we have to be, just, careful, man. I was just something I was thinking on, something I was meditating on, you know what I'm saying? Because people make the damn turn. God damn, how long it take. These people, man, so fucking stupid, bro. Slakia, man. Nigga just like, come on, bro. You could have just made the turn, like, here you go. You stopping and sightseeing and shit. Anyway, see, even stuff like this, you know what I'm saying? It pulls from you. We have to be very aware of our energy levels, man. You know what I'm saying? And where the energy is actually going. Like, because, women like to argue. People like to talk shit. People like to gossip. Did you hear about this? Did you hear about... Man, nobody want to hear that shit. That shit is draining. It'll drain you, bro. That shit will really drain you. Just dealing with, just being in public. You gotta look at a 6'5" nigga switching along with hair down his back with some fucking nails and eyelashes on. Some big ass nigga. You gotta look at that, man. That's draining. That's vexing to the spirit, man. So in the meanwhile, like I said, we gotta, these spiritual meters, we gotta make sure, hey, all right, shit is on charge, man. Cause it's no different than you looking at a phone battery. You're like, oh shit, I'm down to like 50%. Let me plug this bitch up. You know what I'm saying? You trying to keep your shit on 100, man. And the way you keep your shit on 100 is prayer, fasting, reading, and calling on the names of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, man. You can't get around it because we need that build up. Because there's so much shit there's so much that's taken from us throughout the day. It's like I'm trying to think which one. I think it was the elder in DC, Baltimore. Might have been. So it's been a year, 2 years or so when I heard him say it though. But he was talking about, man, when you get home, from off the plantation. That's what's that 144. You get home from the plantation, man. You know what I'm saying? I like to light incense. You know what I'm saying? And bless the home, so to speak. And he said, bless yourself. Anoint yourself with oil. You hit the face bowl. You know what I'm saying? And splash that water on the face, wash the face real nice, and put some oil on, man. Anoint yourself. Break away from the bullshit that you was just in. That goes a long ways, man. Pray over it. Your oils in the name of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. Your incense in the name of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. Whatever you burn, you know what I'm saying? And believe it. Believe that what you're praying for is real. You know what I'm saying? And that it's going forth. Because when you get to the crib, you should be wanting to kick back in your sanctuary, so to speak. Really relaxing. Getting into a mode of, let me build myself back up. You may make some food. I like to listen to lessons, while I'm making, eats and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And just being built up. You know what I'm saying? I like to just listen to lessons most throughout the day as much as I can, you know what I'm saying? Because it really is, what else is there to do? Might as well stay as built up as I possibly can, listening to the brothers. You're listening to the brothers, you're listening to those videos, that should be a build up as well. Because we go through a lot of shit, man. We go through a lot of shit. And our people's, initial people that's, directly around us, They don't feel that. They don't know, man. They don't go through ailments like that. These motherfuckers be healthy as hell. You know? Motherfuckers be out here doing the worst shit and be healthier than a fucking horse, bro. Not an ailment in sight. They ain't going through no problems like that, you know what I'm saying? Or the problems that they think are problems ain't no fucking problems, you know? But we be going through it, man. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it's by the spirit and power of Yahweh about H.I.M Yahushua, because, you know, what it says, when we're weak, he's strong. Salaki, I'm trying to think how it's worded. I wish I could get it on the phone real quick. But you get, you know, basically the Lord, he knows our situation, man. He's our strength. He's our strength. When we're feeling real down, the Lord actually is carrying us. The Lord is, you know, scripture comes to mind, and you got to use the scriptures, of course, you know, resist the devil and he'll flee. The way that you do that is with the scriptures. You see, Yahushua was our example in the wilderness with Satan, man. He kept trying to tempt him. You know, you want to, you know, lash out. You want to go upside a nigga's head. You know, you got to, you know, hold your peace, man. Let the Lord handle it. You know, don't get into a vengeful mode. The Lord will handle it, man. You know? So I didn't want to keep this long. It was just, you know, a little something that I was thinking on while I was driving. Little meditation I was thinking on. Like, motherfuckers will really drain your ass, man. It's like, you know, you going to the gym. You need to be replenished once you come from the gym, you know? Get your electrolytes back up. Get your water intake back up. You know what I'm saying? You know? Not go dehydrate, you know, dehydrate yourself. And again, this is what people would do, living this life would do, you know, being around these people, man. Everybody is just one track mind. They don't think about nothing righteous at all. Motherfuckers just wicked as hell. That shit drains you. So I'm gonna end out there, man. I pray that the lesson was edifying. Kwame Yashal on the Bible Ball.